Oh, hi, I'm Jen and welcome to my studio. And today I wanted to do a little tutorial on a step or two. I had a lot of requests recently for a tutorial on grab-offs, which I already have. So in my step tutorial playlist, which is either right below in the description. I don't know if I actually put it on step tutorials, actually, because I figure you're already here. But I do have a step tutorial playlist on my channel. You will find a tutorial straight up just for grab-offs, or if you call them pickups, that's another way of saying it. There's a lot of different names for it. There's a whole tutorial on that. But one of the biggest questions I get is what I want to address today. What is the difference between a grab-off and a pullback? And that is a great question. And I'm going to start this with a huge disclaimer, which I think I've put on a couple of my videos recently. What you call a step is regional, absolutely regional. I call a grab-off. Sometimes I call it a pickup because one teacher taught it to me as a pickup, the other teacher taught it to me as a grab-off. Same step, different name. I've heard it called a pull switch. I've heard it called just a pull. I've heard it called a grab. I've heard it called lots and lots of different names. Whatever you call it, totally valid. Absolutely valid. In fact, please tell me in the comments below what you call it, because I'm actually really interested to know what you call it. But yeah, for the purpose of this video, I'm going to call a grab-off, it's when you go from one foot to the other, is a grab-off, and a pullback, in this case we're doing a single one-footed pullback, a grab, same foot. You're going to jump from one foot to the same foot for a pullback and one foot to the other foot for a grab off. And even in just telling you the names of these things and what I'm going to call it, I gave the difference away, which I think is like silly but also not, kind of convenient. So what is the difference between a grab off, as I call it, and a pullback, as I call it? So with a grab off, you are going from one foot to the other. You can also call these pickups, like I said. These are able to be done in, like, you can add these to steps, which I'll talk about in a minute. But a grab off, just one foot to the other. Spank the toe on the foot that you're standing on and land on the other foot. Now you can do it from a flat foot or you can do it from your toe. From a flat foot, you kind of like put your weight right back here, and in the heel of your foot, you lift your toe as you go back and then you land. Now, if you're going to do it from the ball of your foot, you have to leave the floor super quick, spank that toe very quickly, and then land. So again, I go into that in the step tutorial I already have. If you need a very, very detailed, slow, full-length tutorial on the step, it is there. So that is a grab-off and a pullback, or a grab-off and a pickup. Yes, that is a grab-off. Cool. So grab off one foot to the other. A pullback, same principle, but you're landing on the same foot. So you have, let's go from the heel, you have this foot to this foot. Or off of the toe, you've got, I'm like falling over a little bit, but that's okay. Too close to the wall. So yeah, one foot to same foot. Or if you're going from the heel, one foot to same foot, pullback. One foot to different foot, grab off. That is how it is in my class. Again, if you call these something different, totally fine. What I want to highlight is the difference between how to execute the two steps. The biggest difference in the execution is where you put your weight. So if you're doing a grab off from one foot to the other, don't so much think about landing on the other foot as much as you think about transferring your weight from this hip to this hip mid-air. Because once you're there, you want to be able to balance and not fall over. You know, you want to be able to have this balance on that foot. So you need to transfer your weight immediately into that hip. Now, if you're doing a pullback, one foot to same foot, you want to make sure that your weight stays in that hip. It does not transfer, it does not go anywhere. So that you can stay on that leg. The biggest difference between these two steps is the weight transfer or not. And that is like the point of this video. The weight transfer is the difference. You have one foot to the other foot, which means you have to transfer your weight from hip to hip. Or you have one foot to same foot, which means you need to be stable in your weight in that one hip. So that is the biggest difference between the two. Which one would you use in which step? Great question. I actually had a student ask me that. They're like, well, how do I know whether to use a grab off or whether to use like a pickup? Or wait, pickup and grab off are the same thing. Whether you use a grab off or whether you use a pullback. And I go, that depends on whether or not that step requires you to transfer your weight or keep it on the same foot. Case in point, maxi forward versus Irish. These are like the best steps to talk about this with. With a maxi forward, you have step, shuffle, jump, toe. Jump implies that you are going from one foot to the other, or leap toe, if you call it a leap. Step, shuffle, leap, toe, which means I transferred my weight. So, because I transfer my weight, it would be a grab off or a pickup. Step, shuffle, toe. So I add the grab off in there. And I transfer my weight. It's not a pullback because I didn't stay on the same foot. Again, terminology is so subjective, so if you're sitting here going, but that's a pickup, not a grab off, or that is a pullback, totally get you. I'm just showing the difference between two steps and I have to use the terminology that I know. Please don't come at me. So, one foot to the other foot. In a maxi forward, I use grab off from one foot to the other. Now, with an Irish, that is a hop, not a leap, not a jump. It is a hop. Step, shuffle, hop, step. Step, shuffle, hop, step. Or I guess it wouldn't have the step in front of it. It would just be shuffle, hop, step. So because you're hopping, you're going same foot to same foot. Shuffle, pull up, step, or shuffle, pull back, step. That's when you would use same foot to same foot. So the general rule is you use the one that I call a grab off, that you might call something completely different, that goes from one foot to the other foot. If you're doing a leap, a jump, or a step, anything that goes from one foot to a different foot. If you're doing a hop, something that stays same foot, you're going to use a pullback, a single pullback. So with the maxi forward, you're switching, so it's a grab off. And with the Irish, you are staying on the same foot, so it's a pullback. And I hope that that makes sense. I hope that makes a lot of sense. Either way, whether you're doing it from the toe, you have to pick up first and then hit before you either land or hit and then land on this foot. If you're going from the heel, you want to make sure you're rocking back into your hip. Don't think about rocking back into your heel. Rock back into your hip so that your toe naturally comes off the floor and you don't start like this because you can't really get any leverage like that. But again, I go into that in the other videos, so I'll try to remember to put those in the description of this, but if not, just go to my step tutorial playlist, you will find them. I have one on single pullbacks, like single-footed pullbacks, and I have one on grab-offs and pickups. So, I hope that you guys found this informative today. I hope that this was helpful. For those that asked for this tutorial, if this did not cover what you wanted me to cover, no worries. Let me know and I will make another one that talks about what you asked for. But the question that I get often in class is, how do I know when to use which one? And how do I make sure I do the right one? Those two things. How do you make sure you do the right one? If you know you need to switch feet, transfer your weight. If you don't need to switch feet, don't transfer your weight. Biggest thing. And then how do I know when to use which one? Is it a leap or a jump or something where you do switch feet? Grab off. Is it one where you have to stay on the same foot? Pull back. All of the biggest thing that you need to remember is, do I switch my weight? And if I do, make sure that I do. That kind of thing. So again, I hope that you found this helpful. I know it was short and sweet, and I love being able to give these little tidbits of information. Again, if you call these anything different, please let me know in the comments. I'm always fascinated to know what people call these steps, or how you distinguish between the two. If you're not already subscribed to this channel, hit the subscribe button and join the TAP fam. We've got technique exercises and step tutorials just like this. We've got choreography tutorials that I release every Saturday that you can learn a combination to a fun song. We've got vlogs and challenges and all kinds of stuff on this channel. It's free TAP class and it's all for you. So make sure that you subscribe, because the more subscribers I have, the longer I can keep this channel free and available and keep it going. And I want to keep this going forever. So please subscribe. Get your students, get your family, get your friends to subscribe. I promise it's family friendly. And subscribe for Wally. He's in every video, so subscribe for Wally. Alright, well I hope you guys had a lot of fun. Don't forget to hit that subscribe button, but also hit the thumbs up because it tells YouTube that people like tap dance, and we want YouTube to know that. But thumbs up, subscribe, and thank you so much for dancing with me.